Hey everybody, welcome to Redline RC. This is Brian here. Just kind of give you a couple minutes on my thoughts of the new Team Associated SR27. So let's get into it. So what is the SR27? The SR27 is a new 127 scale mini Z size vehicle. It's designed to have compatibility with several, not all, mini Z parts. It comes with a Lexan body and body posts. It's available in two different versions, and just so you know, there is a difference between the versions. The older style 240Z comes in a rear motor configuration. The newer style Nissan Z comes in a mid motor configuration. So that may influence your decision on which one you choose to purchase. What do you need to know about it? Comes as an RTR, alkaline batteries for $119.99 MSRP, or with a nickel metal setup, which includes batteries and a charger for $139. Otherwise, they're identical. Comes with a low center of gravity chassis design, bottom loading batteries, micro upgradable servo for the front steering versus the kind of gears and motor setup that is on the current Mini Z. It's compatible with autoscale and other Mini Z bodies based on your motor configuration. It's compatible with Mini Z rear wheel drive tires and wheels. Uses a top shock and T-plate setup for rear suspension, similar to the rear wheel drive Mini Zs. It also uses a kingpin and front spring suspension, which is a little bit different. I think, from my perspective, it has a little bit more travel than a stock Mini Z, and you don't have to do a kingpin flip. So what's good about it? Well, the price, for sure. Comes in about $10 less than the Mini Z that comes without a body or wheels, and it's compatible with Mini Z parts. It comes with a nice little carrying case. I put this one as a maybe, but hopefully Team Associated stands behind this thing. I've been running and racing Team Associated products for a long time. I'd love to see their support network stand behind this and grow the community. It's got hex hardware throughout, which, if you're like me, you hate Phillips, tiny Phillips especially screws, you're probably clapping right now. It includes a bunch of extras, all the parts to swap over the front and rear, to narrow, wide, mid motor, rear motor. And the transmitter that it comes with seems to be some kind of rebranded Spectrum, but more to come on that as I get some additional details. But it feels solid for an RTR transmitter. What's not so great? Lexan body, that might need to be a shelf queen if you plan to race. If you crash into anything with any kind of force, you're going to start breaking parts. There's no protection there from damage that might be caused. It's relatively thin. And I would suggest getting a hard body for this thing if you have any intention to race. Battery posts seem to be made from a slightly thinner metal, which could lead to them deforming and needing to kind of pull them out so they make appropriate contact. It's just something to keep an eye on. It uses a JR style plug, which is this guy right here, for the transponder. So you may need an adapter to go from your transponder of choice to a JR plug. They're out there. You just got to look around. As I mentioned, the steering knuckles can be a weak point. They're mostly plastic. There may be an opportunity to find upgraded knuckles, but even then, I think ultimately the steering knuckle issue becomes much less of a problem if you just go with a hard body. So hard bodies do fit. They're a little tight, which may actually be a good thing. So there's, the posts, the side posts go right here. And obviously you remove the body posts to mount the front clip. But the other thing I'll say is, if you look at this thing, you're probably saying to yourself, man, look at all those screws. And you'd be right. To get under the hood of this thing, and how often do you do that? I mean, that, your mileage may vary, but to get under the hood of this thing, you're going to have to remove a bunch of screws. 6 to get to the back, at least 2 to get to this midsection. So, get your Allen wrenches ready. So what do you need to race? Again, as I said, a hard body with front clip. You need to remove the body posts. It's pretty easy. They each have a couple of screws. So the top ones have 4 screws, 2 on each side. The front one has 2 screws. Comes right off. You install a transponder. You need that JR plug adapter that I mentioned. A decent set of tires that'll work for your track. And a T-plate. But the T-plate is really optional. I just found the factory one was kind of soft, and I could just see a lot of bouncing coming from that. But what else is new for an RTR? What else did I observe? Factory bearings, not the greatest. May want to consider bearings. Again, I mentioned that Lexan body. User manual doesn't actually ship with it. There's a QR code. There's like a quick start guide, a QR code. You probably want to grab that. As a little bit more detail in the digital user manual than there is in the quick start guide. At this point, the club level support of this running in box stock or some of the other classes is still open. No idea, how well clubs are going to gravitate to it, but I would suggest taking that conversation up with your local club. I do think it's a good entry point for new racers. And the one other thing I'll mention is the T-plate mount seems a little bit, I don't know. There may need to be an adapter or maybe a thin kind of plate there. Maybe it was just a T-plate that I got, but the mount seemed a little bit bigger than the T-plate. But I'll get back to you guys on that if I find anything else out. So, that said, let's dive into my version here. And this is it right here. This is my Team Associated SR27. I've got a John Marima body on it. And as you can see, basically pretty straightforward. Front clip. And I've got some Next Racing Gecko wheels on it right now, and then there's that PNT plate. But battery mount is pretty easy. Pops off, and yes, those are cheapo Amazon batteries. Don't judge me. But just all in all, seems like a pretty good value for the money. I just want to call out right here. You'll see right there. You'll see that JR style plug. That's what you're going to need to connect your transponder to. So I currently have one on order. I'll put the transponder here. Put the transponder cable there when I get a chance. But found that out after trying to plug it into this port, which appears to be for lights or something, but does not fit the Easy Lap, which is a system that I use. Transponder setup. So with that, appreciate everybody joining. I'm happy that you guys all stopped by today. Please do leave a comment, like, subscribe if you're interested. But this is a brand new channel. Wanted to get some content out there, but this is kind of the first video in a series. So once I get some track footage, I'll put that up as well. But everybody, have a great day. Thanks.